Hi there, my name's Jim. I'm a solicitor in the family team at Oliver Fisher. And I'd like to talk to you today about the perils, the pitfalls for first-time buyers, any buyer, to be honest with you, who buys a house and perhaps each person contributes unequally, and what you can do, what the pitfalls are, what you might not be thinking, and what can go wrong and how to remedy it. So, if you're unmarried especially, less so if you're married because the law is very different for married couples, you meet Mr. or Ms. Right, you decide to buy a house, and perhaps, I don't know, one of your parents gives you some money or you have savings, but you contribute unequally to buying the house, the lawyer's costs, the estate agents and so forth. One person contributes this much, the other that much. We had a case recently where that was the situation. The gentleman had contributed far more. Their relationship failed and they came to see us to find out what their options were. Unfortunately, what they hadn't done is to reflect the unequal contributions in any way. So the property was owned jointly, the land register said they were both equal joint owners, and so the starting point when it came to dividing the property, because they agreed it should be sold, was that they should have an equal share. Now, my client felt that was unfair, it was inappropriate, and didn't reflect what they had agreed at the time. But sadly, there was no evidence of what he said. It boiled down to a case of he said, she said. Now, that's the most unsatisfactory thing, because people will say one thing when the relationship comes to an end, and they may say something entirely different at the start. This is the thing you should do. If you're contributing unequally, or if your parents or wider family are giving you money to help you buy a property, fantastic, good for you. If you want that to be reflected in the legal ownership or the beneficial ownership more strictly, then you absolutely should do something about that, preferably at the time that you buy the house. A declaration of trust is the standard form of doing this, and it more or less does what it says on the tin. It declares the way in which you and the other joint owner or owners share their interest in the property. So you can say, well, I contributed 80%, therefore I should have an 80% share in the property, net of the mortgage, the sale costs and so forth. Doing that at the time you buy the house, signing up to it through lawyers, getting independent legal advice, that will reflect in any kind of settlement if your relationship fails. If you don't do that, then it's into he said, she said, and frankly, that's not very reliable in my experience, because people will say one thing when it suits them, and evidence is something slightly more rigorous than word of mouth. So if you're unsure about how to deal with these issues, you should speak to a lawyer. Any estate agent, in my view, who highlights these issues to a buyer is going the extra mile for their client. And it's commendable that Rochills are doing this for their clients. It can only assist them. Come and see me and them, and we'll sort you out. Thank you.